Okay, that's good.
She didn't get me, did she? There, get back in here to get my roll.
Please subscribe show. YouTube Cole Spivey. Yeah, man.
Is we're doing meatballs on top of our pizza. Where did the pizza go?
It's still in the freezer.
Okay.
So meatballs, you can put in the microwave for 35 to 40 seconds for 6 meatballs. But I don't know, we're not ready to eat all the way, so we're going to put it on the stove top. So we're going to place the frozen meatballs in a covered saucepan with your favorite sauce, cook for about 20-25 minutes, or until hot. So 6 meatballs is a serving. Yeah, there's the brand. That's the Aldi's brand. It's Italian style meatballs.
And we're going to cut them up and put it on this thing.
Yeah.
Eventually. This is the Tony's pizza. So what we're doing is we're actually making a cheese pizza. This is cooking a cheese pizza with meatballs on top of it with Linda. And that's the Tony's brand.
Yeah, Tony's brand.
And these are the meatballs.
Meatballs. And then we're going to add sauce. And then we're going to cut up the onions.
And we're adding
peppers.
onions and sauce. And then what we're going to do is once we get everything cut up and cooked, then we're going to show you how we're going to put it on the pizza and make a meatball pizza.
A meatball pizza?
A meatball pizza, okay. So technically...
It's a meatball pepper onion pizza.
So it's a meatball pepper onion pizza. So that's what we're pretty much kind of throwing together, I guess budgeting or whatever. So we're just doing the cheese. We do have a game that you can play on the back of the pizza box of Tony. And it looks like there's a finished thing. So you start, you go all the way through here, come there, and there's the used 100% real mozzarella.
So you take a penny, players take turns by flipping a quarter on the numbered pizza slice to see how far they move.
So there you go. You buy a Tony pizza and you got yourself a game.
Cool.
All right.
Oh, that must be the little, oh, there you go. That must be how many spaces you go. Oh, cool.
Very good. The meatballs are there. They've been cut up. You can see. If you look right here, meatballs have been cut up and then placed on the pizza. So there's the meatballs. There's all the good stuff that Linda put in there. She's taking like a little break right now. You can see there's, looks like pineapples and onions and all kinds of good stuff on the cheese pizza. But she didn't make the sausage, instead she just did the meatballs. So it's a meatball pizza. And I like mine about like that. So I'm gonna grab my little, we got a new one right here. Oh, I'm gonna use this one. This one's like a ratatouille kind of thing. You're seeing ratatouille. Then you open this one, you just grab it. And I'm gonna cut a slice right here. Somewhere in there, it's in here. There it is. You don't want to put these in the dishwasher right here. We've gone through a few of them. And then she likes hers a little crunchy. So this goes like this. Just like that. You just keep on rolling it. Here, it's kind of, she was here, she'd be able to hold it. She's taking a break right now. And we just go like this, and then all the way through here, about like that. I'm more concerned with just kind of, these aren't the sharpest things. There's different ones. It's a flatter pizza, so this is like Tony. And then I like mine kind of moist. So I'm gonna do, take one of these right here. And I'm gonna say, thank you Lord for the food. Take a break. No, I know, I like mine a little bit gushy. Okay, so Linda's gonna put it back in there. Like I said, she just cooked it. Do you wanna put that, and this is what it is, it's like,
I already have plates right
we're
here.
calling it meatball pizza with what?
Peppers and onions.
With peppers and onions. What are these things? Oh, those aren't pineapples?
Oh.
Oh, those are peppers. Oh, peppers and onions. So it's a meatball pizza with peppers and onions. They look like, I thought they were pineapples.
It's okay.
So it's a meatball pizza.
Whatever you want to call it, it's fine.
Okay. She said I could call it that, but it's meatball pizza with peppers and onions.
It's okay, Doc.
Linda has one black sock and one white sock.
Too bad I don't have a pink sock or a red sock.
Hello, everybody. I am the Italian chef from Ristorante. Whatever this means. The
It looks like it to me.
Vita. And I make some meatballs and put it on your pizza.
That means a beautiful life.
Beautiful life is what that means.
Vita?
Lo bella vita. Lo bella vita.
What is the beautiful? What's Vita again?
I don't know. Lu bella vita.
That's beautiful. The beautiful.
Well, it sounds beautiful. All right. And we're going to have pizza. Carry over in a scene. I do an L cut. This is an L cut. And that will carry over in the scene. It looks like an L in film. L cut. The sound will carry over, sacrificing a little bit of the visual on the other end when the scene switches. So the scene will switch, and the sound will jump into the other scene a little bit, and that's called an L cut. It derives from the L shape that it looks like on the timeline in the editing. Okay, in the editor, it looks like an L because it lingers over into the next scene. Sound here goes into the next scene. That's called an L cut. Ding, L cut. L cut. That was just a change of focus. But when we're talking about L cut, we're talking about sound. And it looks like an L because there's the sound and it lingers over into the next part of the edit. An L cut. I want to analyze why L cuts work, especially in conversation. It's a difference between probably when you're looking at someone the entire time and you're talking to them, and let's say they move over here and you're still looking at them, as opposed to maybe talking and turn your head for a minute to think and turn away and then bring it back in. Because if you were talking and I turned away, I look away, and I turn back in. So I like the L cut. Goes through, probably. This also is like, oh, loser, but it's L cut. Do you know what I mean? I think I know what you're saying. I see. L cut. See the conversation, the difference? Than me just going, I see what you're saying, an L cut. That's very good. I have this friend that's like, oh yeah, that's cool. What's going on? I'm looking right at you the entire time. And L cut doesn't always look at you. Right? I'm reading. That's why I'm doing this. But it's just smooth. It's smoother. It's interesting. I'm playing with it right now. Playing with L cuts. I'm starting to use J cut is when the audio precedes the scene. Think of a backwards slide going upward, or skateboarder going up the J, because you're going to get the sound before the image comes. You ever seen those movies where you start hearing someone talk but no one's there and they're looking at a field, all of a sudden it cuts to the monologue? That's a J cut, because you get the sound before the image. J cut. I was just doing the skateboard thing, so I thought it was cool. Let's say if the guy is staring at you. Some guy, hi, I'm staring at you. And you hear the sound of a skateboard. We're like, where's the skateboard sound coming from? And then it cuts, and the guy's on the skateboard skating around. See, he's sitting there, and you all of a sudden hear skateboard wheels. That's a J cut, because the image hasn't happened yet, but the sound sneaks in before the image changes to that next scene. J cut. The audio precedes. It'll precede the next visual scene that is awaiting to happen. You get the sound early, and then so it looks like a J in the editing. On a J cut, it means the audience hears the next scene before it happens. So they'll hear the scene before it happens, and then it changes. And it looks like that, like a J. Just like a J. Think of is that J? J. The reason why you want to do an L cut or a J cut is so that you can be carried in to the next scene or brought into the next scene. It transitions, like weaving a basket or weaving clothing or sewing clothing. So it takes you into the next scene, which is an L cut, because the L cut carries the sound, precedes the visual, and a J cut is the visual. Okay, I'm sorry. The L cut, the visual precedes the sound, and a J cut, the sound precedes the visual. You have to look at it in a film editing room and see what it looks like. It's like an L. I see some imagery on Google, but I want to say the L cut, I want to say that the imagery carries into that scene, and the sound, all of a sudden, that's right. So when the audio J cut precedes the image, it's J. It goes quicker. So you get the audio first before the visual changes. That's J. Okay, you get it quicker. So you're getting the sound all of a sudden. You're like, why am I hearing the sound of a loud truck when I'm looking, at a beautiful blue sky? And then all of a sudden, the scene changes and you're right there at the engine of the loud truck and you're hearing it and you can see it. You hear the sound first, then the image comes. That's J. L cut, you get the visual first, and the sound seeps in and carries you. So L is visual first, J is sound first. L cut, you get the visual first, visual, and J the sound seeps in and carries you. So
later.
L is visual first, J is sound first. L is visual, and J is sound.